Good morning here from Greg Christensen at Grandview Grain and Livestock. It's kind of a cold, wet morning this morning, but I thought I'd show you a few things about goat feed, goat mineral, sheep mineral, and cattle mineral. And the same thing will also go to other feed products for sheep, goats, or cattle. Now, over here, this is a Purina goat mineral, and I'm not picking on any certain company. Probably all companies make a goat mineral. Just happen to have a bag of this Purina available. This bag costs $32. If it was a 50-pound bag, it's a 25-pound bag, so it costs $16. But to compare all these, others are in the 50-pound bag. And so we'll say this is a $32 bag of 50 pounds bag of mineral. And here we have the sheep mineral. This mineral cost about $28 for a 50-pound bag. And over here, this just happens to be a Cargill mineral I can pick up in town. We feed our cows. We fed this to our goats. And so here's three different minerals. So let's look at the feed tag. Now here's the goat mineral. As you can see here, I hope you can read that. It's about 15 to 18% calcium and 8% phosphorus. And you've got 2,500 parts per million to 2,700 parts per million copper in it. And selenium, zinc. Here you've got 2,000 units of vitamin E in it. There's no particular requirement that says goats have to have that much vitamin E. It was just in this mineral. Probably if it was breeding season or something, that extra vitamin E could help you, but then again, it may just not be a benefit. Now we have the Purina sheep mineral. Now, if you know anything about sheep, you've heard that they shouldn't have copper or too much copper. Now, they do need some. So this mineral would be a very small amount of copper. It's not even on the feed tag, if you could see here, but it's got about the same level of calcium, phosphorus, salt, about the same level of selenium and zinc. It's got 2,000 units of vitamin E also. Again, it's not a particular requirement that the sheep or goats need that much vitamin E. It just happens to be part of this mineral package. Now again, the Purina bag of goat mineral cost $32 if it was in a 50-pound bag. Now your sheep mineral is just the same, although they've taken the copper out of it, and it costs around $28 to $29, depending where you pick it up at. And now we've got this just a Cargill mineral. You could probably pick up any other cattle mineral and find something very similar. So let's see what the tag says of it. So your calcium and phosphorus is almost identical. Your copper's 2,500 parts per million, just like the goat mineral was. About the only difference, you got your zinc's a little higher in this. Your vitamin E is considerably lower at 250 units per pound. Which that's what you'll see on most minerals. That's probably an adequate level. Again, if I was having a problem with breeding or just during breeding season, maybe I'd go with that higher vitamin E. But that seems to be the only difference in this mineral. They've taken the copper out of the sheep mineral and the goat mineral, but the only difference was the extra vitamin E. The cattle mineral costs about, depending on where you pick it up, it's going to be around $23, $24 a bag. So considerably cheaper than the goat mineral, a few dollars a bag cheaper than the sheep mineral. Although I feed the sheep mineral to my sheep just to keep the copper level lower, just in case I was getting a problem with maybe I've got more copper than I think in my hay or some other situation. That just gives me added insurance. I'm not overdoing it on the copper for the hair sheep. So really, guys, you could save some money if you're feeding goats just to go ahead and get the cattle mineral. That's what I've done. It's what I've always done. The same thing goes with other feed products, protein products. You know, if you buy something with the name sheep and goats on it, it's probably going to be more expensive because people know, you know, most people just have a few head in their backyard of goats. They're more like pets maybe, and they're willing to spend a little bit more on something that they think it's designed more for them, when in actuality, it's probably the same mineral. You know, they put it in a smaller bag, make it easier to handle for smaller producers. But, you know, for my money, I'm probably just going to go with the cattle product. If I was buying protein, look at your feed tags, see if everything's the same. But most of the time you're going to find that a product for cattle will be more than adequate for a product for goats. The sheep might need to have something with limited amount of copper in it. So keep that in mind. I think you can save some money on your feed products by looking at the feed tags and sorting it out yourself. This is Greg Christensen, Grandview Grain and Livestock.